It's prep 3. We have here revision, accumulative revision for geometry. Be with me. Let's start. First thing, we will talk about transformation. Transformations, we have many types of transformation, like reflection, translation, and we have rotation. What about reflection in the x-axis? If you have a point like xy and you want to make reflection in the x-axis, you will change just y. As if you have a point like 3, 4, reflect this point on x-axis is gonna be 3, negative 4. You will change just y. What about reflection in the y-axis? You will change in x. It's gonna be negative xy. Like if you have point 3, negative 9, we will change just x. It's gonna be negative 3, negative 9. Okay, what about reflection in the origin point? Origin point, you will change in x and y. Like if you have a point, it's called xy, we can change in xy, it's gonna be negative x, negative y. Like negative 1, 4, you will change in x, it's gonna be positive 1, and change in y, it's gonna be negative 4. Okay, don't forget that. What about translation? In translation, it's super easy. You will just add. If you have a point xy with this rule, you must see this rule or take care about this rule. Like if you have 1, 2, by translation, x plus 3 and y minus 1. Well, take care about this rule or this case. We have 1. And you can translate by x plus 3, you will substitute x by 1, it's gonna be 1 plus 3 equals 4. And we have here 2 minus 1, because you substitute by y by 2, it's gonna be y minus 1 equals 1. Okay, I think it's easy. Now focus with me in rotation. Rotation, we have many names for rotation, like if you have a rotation with origin point and 90 degrees or quarter turn. Don't forget, if you have xy, a point xy by rotation 0, 9, origin point 90 or quarter turn, don't forget, you will change y and flip. It's like you will make a like commutative replace. Okay, it's gonna be y or negative y here and x. Flip and change y. Flip and change y. Don't forget that. Flip, change y. Like if you have a point 2, 3, flip, it's gonna be 3, 2. Don't forget to change y. It's gonna be negative 3, 2. Okay. What about rotation origin point with angle negative 90 or 270? You must know 270 is like or same negative 90, or it's like 3 over 4 turn or 3/4 turn. Okay. You will flip but change x. If you have a point like 2, 3, you will change. Okay, it's gonna be 3, 2, but change x. Okay. What about rotation with origin point and positive negative 180, or it's called also by half turn? You will change x and y without flipping, huh? It's gonna be negative x, negative y. Like if you have 3, 4, it's gonna be negative 3, negative 4. Okay. Last thing or last case, we have here origin point and 360 by positive or negative. It's called one turn. Okay, it's same position or same point. If you have a point 2, 9, it's gonna be same point with rotation 360 by positive or negative. Okay, don't forget that. We have here train. Try to solve it by yourself. It's easy. Now let's try to find these issues, small issues. Here we have a triangle, its side 5, 5. What about third side? You can find third side by this inequality. Don't forget, this inequality is super important for you. We have here third side between as it an interval between difference of two sides and sum of two sides. Like what about difference of 5, 5? We have 0. What about summation of them? We have a 10. Can you find the number between 0 and 10? Yeah, which one of these? We can find 9 between 0 and 10. Then we have here 9 centimeters. Triangle ABC where AB more AC. Then what about measure of B and measure C? What relation between them? Don't forget, when we see AC line segment, okay, we can complete it by the third vertex. We have a C, and we complete AC by the third vertex. We have a B here. Then we can write same inequality, angle C more angle B, but we have here angle B less angle C. Sum of interior angles of triangle 360, 180. What about sum of interior angles of quadrilateral? Quadrilateral we have 360. But you can use this law. Summation of interior angles of any polygon 180 multiplied by n minus 2. What about n? Here n number of sides. Number of sides. Then if you want to get sum of interior angles of a pentagon, you must know what about pentagon. Pentagon, it's a polygon with 5 sides. Okay. Then we can substitute by n here 120 times 5 minus 2. It's gonna be 180 times 3 equals 540 degrees. And what about hexagon? In the hexagon, we can write here 180 minus, and here in the hexagon 6 sides. Then 6 minus 2 equals 4. 4 times 180 equals 720 degrees. And what about sum of interior angles in octagon? Octagon, it's 10 sides, because you know, penta 5 sides, pentagon 5 sides, hexagon 6 sides, heptagon 7 sides, octagon, octagon, sorry, 8 sides, nonagon 9 sides, decagon 10 sides. Then octa 8 sides, okay? 180 times 8 minus 2 is gonna be 180 times 6 equals 1080 degrees. A line perpendicular from midpoint of a line segment is called perpendicular, and midpoint is called axis symmetry. Of symmetry. In right angle triangle, the lengths of side opposite to angle 30 of equal space of hypotenuse. It's a half, and it's important for you when you have a right angle triangle, and these right angle triangle we have angle 30 and we have here angle 60, okay? Because we know 30 and 90, 120, subtract from 180 equals 60. Then third angle 60. Relation between the side opposite to 30 degrees equal half of hypotenuse. Let hypotenuse equal 10 centimeters here. Then what about the length of opposite side to 30 degrees? It's gonna be 5, because you know it's equal half of hypotenuse, okay? Circumference of a circle with diameter 14. You can write circumference of a circle by this law, by times d equals 22 over 7 times d equals 4 here. Then we can simplify, it's gonna be 44 centimeters. In parallelogram ABCD, if measure of angle A and angle C, we have here 140 degrees. Then what about measure of B? Don't forget, in parallelogram we have here angle A, B, C, D. Well, maybe we can write it as sorry, we can write it here A, B, C, D, okay? Summation of angle A with C equals 150. You must know each two opposite angles of parallelogram equal measure. Then we can divide 150 for two angles A and C. It's gonna be 75, and we have here 75. But we ask for measurement of angle B. You know, in parallelogram each two consecutive angles, okay, equals 180. Then we have here 180 minus 75 equals 105 degrees, okay? Now what about two lines parallel to third are what are parallel? If you have here two lines or two straight lines parallel to third, then what about these two lines parallel? Two lines are perpendicular to third line are parallel. We have here two lines, this line perpendicular on this third line, and we have another line perpendicular. Then what relation between this line and this line? It's perpendicular, parallel. Okay. If you have ABC square, the measurement of angle BAC, you can draw this square. We have here square ABCD. You know, all angles in a square right angles. We have here, what about measurement of angle BAC? Angle BAC, we have here BAC. This angle, you know, this angle equals half of 90. It's gonna be 45 degrees. If you know AB congruent, okay, congruent to CD line segment, then what about if we subtract them? It's gonna be 0. Imagine it's same length. If you have a same length like 5, then 5 minus 5 equals 0. What about division? Same number divided by same number equals 1. Number of acute angles in this figure. If you have this figure, okay, can you tell me what about number of acute angles? But you must know this angle is a right angle. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have here 5 angles. Measure of two complementary angles, complementary 90 degrees. Measure of supplementary angles 180 degrees. What about measure of accumulative angles equals 360 degrees. Each two opposite vertical angles are what? Are equal, and measure. Sum of two interior angles in the same side from transversal equals 180. Okay. What about outer sides of two supplementary are what? When we talk about outer sides, we need to know what the meaning of outer sides. We have here two supplementary angles, okay. I don't know what the measurement of them, but summation of them 180, you know that. What about outside, outer sides? Outer sides, this side and this side called outer. Outer sides on the same side. And what about outer side of complementary angles? Complementary, you know, complementary means 90, and this outer side, and what's the relation between this side, outer side, and this outer side? It's a perpendicular. Perpendicular. Now we have here more examples. Angle with measure 30 complement angle 60. Because you know, complement 90. 30 supplement 150 degrees. Don't forget what about reflex angle. If you have angle ABC equals, measure of angle ABC equals say 60 degrees. What about reflex of angle ABC? When we talk about reflex, then you can make 360 minus this angle 60 degrees equals 300 degrees. Don't forget reflex angle. You subtract with from 360. Intersecting point of median of triangle divide median into space to space from base to vertex, from base 1 to 2. But if I ask you for from vertex to base, it's gonna be 2 to 1. The measure of interior angle of regular hexagon. Measure of interior angle of regular hexagon. Don't forget this law. If you want to get an interior angle, just one angle from regular, it means same angles or same measurement of interior angles. Then we can write this law and multiply, 180 times n minus 2 over n. In a hexagon you have 6 sides, then we have 180 times 6 minus 2 equals 4 over n. We have here 6. Okay, we can substitute by n as a 6. Then 180, you know, multiplied by 4 equals 720. Okay, 720 divided by 6 equals 120. And what about here? Regular decagon. Same way, we can substitute by this law, 180 minus n minus 2 over n. What about here, number of decagon? Decagon, number of sides in decagon, you know, penta, 5 hexa, 6 hepta, 7 octa, 8 nonagon, 9 decagon, 10 sides. Then we have 180 multiplied by 10 minus 2 over 10. Okay, then we have here, you can calculate that by your calculator. We have here 180 times 8 equals 1440 divided by 10 equals 144 degrees. Then the measurement of one interior angle in regular decagon, 144 degrees. What about number of diagonals in pentagon? We have a law for number of diagonals. We have n multiplied by n minus 2 over minus 3 over 2. We know pentagon has 5 sides. Don't forget this law. We have here number of diagonals. We can substitute by pentagon as a 5, then 5 multiplied by 5 minus 3 over 2 equals 5. Then we have 5 diagonals and a pentagon. Law of number of diagonals in any polygon, n multiplied by n minus 3 over 2. Number of diagonals in hexagon, then we can find it by using this law. Hexagon, we have here 6. We can start by to write a law, n multiplied by n minus 3 over 2. Substitute by number of sides in hexagon as a 6. You know number of sides in hexagon equals 6. Then we have here 6 multiplied by 6 minus 3 over 2. It's gonna be, we have here 6 minus 3 equals 3 multiplied by 6 equals 18 divided by 2 equals 9. Sum of interior angles of pentagon. Sum of exterior angles of pentagon, 360 degrees. You must know sum of exterior angles of any polygon equal 360. The sum of exterior angle of decagon is 360 also. The measure of exterior angle of equilateral triangle, just one angle, you know, it's 360, but we will divide 360 by 3 because all of them equal measure. It's gonna be one angle as 120 degrees. If A complement B and measure of B equal twice measure B, then what about measure of B? We have here, you can write as M, or measure of angle A, to measure of angle B, to summation of them. We have here quantities. We have measure of A, 2, measure of B, take 1 because you have here 2 over 1, summation of them 3, and it's 4 ratios. What about quantities? We have a complement or complementary. When you see complementary, you can write 180 or 90. Yeah, great, it's 90. Complementary 90. After that, you can make cross multiplication. 1 times 90 divided by 3 to get this value. It's gonna be 90 times 1 over 3 equals 60 degrees. It's okay. Now if you have angle A supplement angle B, and same way we have measure of B to equals twice or double of measure of angle B, then what about measure of angle B? By same way we can find it by using same way. We can write ratio between angle B, or write angle A to angle B to summation of them. We have here A as 2, here 1, 2 to 1 to sum 3. And what about quantities? We have here supplementary. Then you can put 180. Then we can make a cross multiplication to find measure of B. 1 times 180 here divided by 3 equals 120 degrees. I think it's clear for you. Now what about if you have a 3x, 7x are sides of a triangle, then what about value of x? Don't forget this inequality or this interval. For third side must be open interval difference of other two sides, and summation of them. Then this interval, or this side or third side between, what about different of 7 and 3? We have 4. What about summation of them? 10. Then x between 4 and 10. Which of them between 4 and 10? We have here number 7, or side 7. Number of axisymmetry of a circle, infinity. Number of axisymmetry of a half a circle. Half a circle, just one. It's a half a circle. We can divide it two identical parts by this way, only one axisymmetry. Number of axisymmetry of a square, we have 4. Axisymmetry of a rectangle, we have only 2. What about rhombus? Only 2. What about parallelogram? 0. What about equilateral triangle? We have 3. What about isosceles triangle? We have only 1. What about scalene? 0. Okay. Please try to revise laws we talk at in algebra. Try to keep it in your mind, because it's important for you. Okay, we have here area of triangle, area of trapezoid, parallelogram, rectangle, square. It's important. Circle, very, very important for you. Don't forget that. Try to keep it in your mind, and don't forget what about area for rhombus here. If you have a rhombus, to find area for rhombus, we have diagonal 1 and it's called diagonal 2. Then area of rhombus equals half times d1 times d2. Okay, bye.